just want to recap on that. It was justify why marginal revenue must be equal, to marginal cost for profits to be maximized. Before I even go to the slides, would anyone like to attempt it, please? Not answer per se, but if you could just explain it to us. Maybe open up the graph. Okay, the graph was on page. You can even use, if anyone gets the page for me, please let me know.
14.
Page 14. 14, Shandu? Yes, sir.
I can try, sir. I can try, sir.
Okay.
So,
So on page 14. So if you open the graph on page 14 and then extend using that, I think that would be awesome. So it's this one. So basically, why do we want to produce where MR is equal to MC? So you have to get this right, gents. We have to understand what this is in order for us to be able to put it straight.
so me, so I think so like, so revenue obviously is like the money coming in, like selling whatever product you're selling, then cost is like how much it costs to make the product. So like,
Right.
with marginal revenue is like that extra income that you get from selling an extra unit. So
Right.
it's like when they go across,
Right.
that's where the profits maximize.
So we all agree that profits are maximized here. Profits maximization. Okay? But before we get to that point, so we'll call this 4 units. So let's call this 3, 2, 1, 5, 6. Okay? Okay, your graph should look something like this. Alright, so now add on to what Shandu started off saying.
So below the marginal revenue, your marginal revenue is more than your marginal cost. So normally, if your revenue is more than your cost, you're making a profit. So as just before the
Okay, so you're on the right track. If your revenue is greater than your cost, you're making a profit. Okay, we're on the right track. Where is your revenue greater than your cost here?
so under the marginal revenue.
Okay, so instead of saying under the marginal revenue, let's all try and just look at and specify exactly. So at quantity 7, at quantity 8, at quantity 10, quantity 21. Mr. Matam, jump in. Okay, so marginal revenue, quantity 1. So we go up, we see, let's just extend this a bit. So here, okay, we go up, that's our marginal cost. Here, and our marginal revenue is here. So yes, marginal revenue is greater here because the cost is here. So, what else? Yes, no other.
So I want to ask, at your profit maximization,
Yes, sir.
you're making your least profit.
So not least profit. Okay, and we're going to get to the profit positions just now. Okay, and the explanation is, I'm just going to try to explain it this way. In business, when you make a profit, and in economics, when you talk about profits, we literally talk about 2 different things. Okay, so at this point in time, your marginal cost is equal to your marginal revenue, but your profit has been incorporated already in there. Okay, so your profit is already incorporated in there. So when we work out, and we'll see today, when we work out economic profit, that's like when you're making excessive profit. So that's over and above what profit you're supposed to make. So let's say the company had targeted to make 10 million rand a year, and they make 200 million rand a year. That's economic profit. Normal profit would have been them making 10 million rand a year. Okay, so at this point in time, this would be like our normal profit type of thing. Yes, Shandu. I mean, Zuma, sorry. Shandu, I started to look. It's the mosque.
So, I got a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's say when I'm using this graph, sir.
Yeah.
If you're producing one,
Yes, 1.
whatever it is, sir.
Yeah.
So it's 5 rand, sir. Like,
Okay.
in terms of your revenue.
5 rand, so you're correct. So if you're producing 1, your revenue is 5 rand. What's your cost, Mr. Zooms? Let's call
2 rand, sir.
it 2 rand. Okay, so your cost is 2 rand. How do you know your cost is 2 rand? Because there's your marginal cost curve. You went and hit your marginal cost curve there, 2 rand. You went and hit your marginal revenue curve here, 5 rand. So how much profits have you made here?
3 rand.
3 rand. Okay, so you made 3 rand profits. But can you still produce more? Okay, carry on, Shandu. I mean,
Okay, fine. Sir,
Zuma, sorry.
what I'm asking, sir, is if once you produce more, up until point 4, sir. Does that mean that you're earning more of a profit, sir?
So basically you're earning more of a profits because you're producing more units.
Okay.
Okay? So yes, here you're making 3 rand, okay, but you're only producing 1 unit. So you can extend your units. You've got capacity in your plants to produce more and more and more and more. So if you're producing here, yeah, it's fine. Businesses, some businesses might produce there, but they're not maximizing profits. Profit maximization. Okay, they're not maximizing profits here. It's not that they're not making profits, they're just not maximizing it. So they decide, okay, we've produced that one, our extra revenue is 5 rand, our extra cost is 2 rand, so our extra profits is 3 rand. But we can now go produce a 2, okay, where we still have revenue of 5 rand, and then let's call this just above 2 rand. Okay, obviously my drawing is not perfect. But the firm can then decide, actually, our revenue is still higher than our cost, so we can produce a 3, okay, where our cost is now going to be here, whatever that is, so let's call this 3 rand, but our revenue is still at 5 rand, right? But they can still produce more. So they decide, actually, let's produce at 4. And at 4, our cost and our revenue are the same. Remember what I said? This is actually, I should actually say marginal and marginal. This is not just cost and revenue being the same, as in our cost was 10,000 rand and our revenue was 10,000 rand. That would be break even. This is your marginal cost, your extra cost of producing an extra unit, and your marginal revenue, your extra revenue received from producing an extra unit, are equal at this point. Yes, Mr. Moelong?
So, do you get something called marginal profit?
No, not marginal profits. Yes, sir.
So let's say so to produce the 5th one.
So if you produce the 5th one, what now happens? So this is how you read off the graph, Mr. Moed. You go to your 5th unit, you go up, right? What do you hit first? Your revenue. How much is your revenue? 5 rand. What do you hit second? Your cost. How much is your cost? So when you're producing 5 units, the extra cost of producing from 4 to 5 is actually higher than the revenue that you'll be receiving. Gents, we have to build here. We're on the same page here, gents. Okay, done.
So let's say if a company is producing sneakers,
Yes, sir.
and when they reach a marginal cost, they go to marginal revenue. Let's say it's 2,000.
Yes.
Can they not produce any more than that?
So if they produce more than that, the extra cost of producing will be higher than the money that they're making. So it won't be worth it.
So
It's like they're giving away stuff. So this is like they limit, they maximize the point where they maximize profits. After those profits, then start declining. After this profit, I'm just trying to think, what example can I make here at school? Come again?
Zombies, so it's like from quantity 1 to 3, so
Yeah.
they're not producing the most that they can to. They're still making the money, so but they're not producing the most that they can.
Right.
Until quantity 4, where they reach the maximum that they can produce and
Okay.
still make the maximum marginal revenue. So, but once they start producing more than quantity 4, it'll cost more. So then the marginal cost will be higher.
100%.
The revenue will be the same.
What do you think would make it cost more if they started producing above quantity 4?
They could buy new machinery.
Okay, so you guys are on the right track. Please can we listen to, thank you very much, Shetty, for that example. So let's use ZOMs. The ZOM farm is this big building, okay, or the small building that we have here. Okay, if they are producing, let's just add 100 to all of these things. If they are producing 100 ZOMs, they make money, but there's still space in the ZOM farm to produce more. The machine is still standing idle there after they produced 100. So they decide, let's move over and start producing 200. Okay? They're still making that extra revenue, that extra money from selling the ZOMs, but they still have space within the ZOM farm to produce more. They still have resources to produce more. So what do? They decide to produce 300. Again, they're still making money, but they can still produce more because they still have space, they still have resources up until they get to 400. After 400, they've now used the ZOM farm building to its full capacity. The ladies, there's 5 of them in there, it's packed. There's no more machines that are available to make ZOMs. But they can still make 400 ZOMs where they make a marginal revenue of 5 rand and the marginal cost is exactly 5 rand. Let's say now the Zom Farm ladies want to go over and above, and they want to now start producing 500 because there's 1,400 boys in college, now all of them are back. The problem with them producing 500, Chetty is saying, is that they don't have the capacity anymore. So they might need to hire a new building, ask the school for a new building, which they'll have to pay for, or they have to get more machinery because the machines that they have can only produce 400 in a day. So in order for them to produce more, they need to buy more machineries. So if they're buying more machinery, they're getting more space, their cost is now higher. Their cost is now higher than what their revenue would be. Does that make sense, Jens? Okay, I'm happy.
So if at the 400 your profit is maximized, the reason why they keep on increasing the quantity of how much you're making is because even though the marginal cost is more, overall you earn more because you times it, like you have extra units that you're selling,
100%.
and overall your profit will be increased.
100%. So I'm scared of doing this example, but we can try it. So if we said we were producing 100 only here, okay, our profits would be 3 rand, so there will be 300. Okay, if we're producing 200 here, okay, let's say that our cost was now 2 rand 50, so our profits is now 2 rand 50. Yes? So 2 rand 50 times 200, that is 500. Okay, so already notice from here it was only 300 profit. By producing more, profit has gone to 500. So if they're to produce here at 300, what's happening now? The profits is only 200, but 200 times 300 is 600. So can you see that they're actually making more money?
Yes.
But now, if they start producing here at 500, okay, what is now the revenue? It's 500 times 5, which is 2,500. But what is the cost? It's 500 times 7, which is 3,500. Thank you very much, Jess. I like it when you help out like that. Okay. It makes sense. Does it make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's move on. All right, so again, just rehashing. At quantity 1, quantity 2, quantity 3, it would benefit the firm to increase production as an extra unit is earning a profit, as we've seen, and the total profits will increase. Okay, but once you get to Q5, the firm would lose as each extra unit is making a loss, which will decrease total profits. Thus, production will need to be decreased to improve the product. So from 500, you'd have to actually decrease production to 400. Before you sleep, Donnie, the last one, thus profits are maximized where? At quantity 4, where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. Because an extra unit will decrease profits, so going to quantity 5, quantity 5 will decrease profits, while producing a unit less, quantity 3, will not be maximizing profits because you can still have space to produce more. I think we're good here. Let's move on. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to now teach you about why the demand curve is horizontal, right? Why does it look horizontal? We touched on it yesterday. Please can somebody, explain, talk to us. What is happening on the board? Look at it carefully, and then just explain what's happening on the board.
On the left,
Just the whole thing, yeah.
the left graph is the market.
100%, so shoes are product.
Shoes.
Okay, so shoes, market, okay, shoes, okay, so that's all the suppliers and all the demanders, which is us of shoes, okay? So we've got Nike Jordans there. Talk to us.
The Nike Jordans are 500.
Okay, so let's say there are 500.
That's the market price for everyone.
That's the market price, and who determines how is this market price determined?
It's determined by the market.
And the markets in terms of what forces of
Equilibrium.
equilibrium, and this forces of demand and supply. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the lingo going. Okay, so the forces of demand and supply tell us that the price of Nike Air Jordans must be 500. Okay, carry on. How does this line become straight?
From the market price, then the individual firm's prices are determined.
Okay, so the individual price will be how much?
500.
100%. So it's 500. Why would this guy, somebody else can take this, why would this individual selling Air Jordans, that the whole market is selling at 500, why would they not sell it at 200? Okay, try undercut the market so that they can sell more. Or why do they not sell it at 700? Try make more money out of it. Let's start with Mr. Mahlani.
So if they were to sell 200, they'd be making less of a profits than the one selling it at 500.
So if they're selling here, they'll be making less of a profit.
Yes,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter the quantity that they make, so they will still make a less of a profit.
Okay.
Because the market's 500 means that they can, yeah, I don't understand.
You're on the right track, carry on.
So the 500, every
Nike Jordan,
Nike Jordan, every company starts selling for 500.
100%.
They can produce an unlimited amount of it. And when you start at 200, you can also produce an unlimited amount, but
Okay.
you're making a loss.
Very good points. I'm going to take Shandu and then Moena. But the point that Mr. Mahlambi is making is very good. That remember, the individual, the one thing that they have to their advantage is they can produce any units they want. So they can produce, let's say, let's just go hectic, from 100 to 250, let's say 350, let's say 450, let's say 550, and 700. Okay, so the price is determined by the market. The market determines the price, okay, of 500, but the market doesn't tell you how many units you can sell. You can sell as many units as you want. So if you sell 100 units, you're making 50,000 Rand. If you sell 700 units, you're making 35,000 Rand, or whatever the amount is. Just dumb sucking. Okay, pretty good in my maths. Okay, does that make sense? Shandu, talk to us. Yes, sir.
If now as an individual, so you sell the Air Jordan for 700.
Yes.
So you're gonna now not sell as much Air Jordans as other individuals will that are part of the market. So now you won't make as much money as you think you will because you're not selling it.
Shandu is 100% correct, and I'm going to visually show you what Shandu just said. I just want to hear what Mawela says.
Also, like, demand so would drop since you think that you're small enough to actually increase the price.
Okay, that's also 100% correct, the demand will drop. Can I just show you what these guys have just said graphically? If you are selling at 700, how did we determine this price? We literally took the market price and we extended it right across to here. Let's extend this backwards to the market. Let's say we want to sell at 700. So let's extend this backwards. So we go backwards, go. Okay, let's also do the 200. Okay, before the 200, let's deal with the 700. Where is our new demand? At 700 Rand, customers are now, we go to the demand curve, customers are now demanding less. Okay, they were demanding here, if that's how you spell here, okay, and they're now demanding less. Suppliers, people want to supply more. And it makes sense. Why would suppliers want to supply more? Because they're making more money out of it. Okay? So they want to supply more. So just to look at it graphically one more time, I'll use the same pen because my pens are all messed up. If you want to undercut the markets and you think you're smart, okay, you will then supply the 200 Rand. But let's take it back. What's going to happen?
Your demand will increase and your supply will decrease.
100%. Your demand will increase. So your new demand will be here because you just go back and you hit the demand curve and you read where the demand is. Okay? Why will people want to demand more? Who wouldn't want to buy Air Jordans for 200 Rand? Okay. Whereas the people that are producing the Air Jordans in the markets are now saying, can't swear, are now saying nonsense this. We are now producing at this point in time less. I think graphically it makes sense. Yes, sir.
So in the individual form, why does D equal MR?
Good question. Can we move on from here? Are you guys happy? Yes, Graham?
So
I'm going to answer your question in the next slide.
I thought of an example where we were talking about if individual firms all decided to move their prices up or down.
Yes,
And
sir.
it wasn't collusion, was when there was a national shortage of red onions. So
Okay.
all the individual firms all raised their prices at different prices.
So there was a shortage of red onion, okay, in the market, and the firms decided to raise their prices. Think about it, Dolly. Okay, think about it. Why would firms want to raise their prices if there's a shortage? I want to hear from somebody else. Now, Wheeler's been answering, Mahlambi's been answering, and it's your turn to shine.
So is it because the demand would be more scarce?
So with them raising their prices, what are they doing? They're actually limiting demand because the higher the price is, the less the demand will be. So you're 100% right. Thank you for that example. Let's go back.
But sir,
Yes, sir.
so if that's the case now, so how come like places like Woolworths like operations.
Very good question, very good question. What type of business, Burton, will give you a chance, Finzel, go for it. What type of business do you think Woolworths is?
I don't know, so they extremely expensive, so they're for the rich class,
Okay?
but they produce their products at a very high quality.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, he's mentioned 3 things. He said he didn't know, but he actually mentioned all the right things. Okay? They are expensive. Okay? They are targeting the higher LSM or the more richer people, Johns, etc., Chetty. They are, and most importantly, the quality justifies the price. The quality that they have justifies the price. Okay, so that's a very good observation that you're making there. Remember, this is a perfect market. Woolworths wouldn't be part of a perfect market. Where would Woolworths fall under? Imperfect market. And specifically under which? Would it be an oligopoly, monopoly, or monopolistic competition?
Monopolist. No.
Think about it. Don't get influenced by Shetty next to you. Think about it.
Monopoly.
Woolworths. Bandigan.
So I was asking a question, so what is
Shetty.
So I would say Ollie's.
Ah. Shandu.
Monopolistic competition.
Monopolistic competition. Oligopoly. Few firms. Woolworths, there's a lot. There's Pick and Pay. I mean, you guys are looking at the high quality, but remember, it still falls under retail in general. It still falls under the fact that it competes with Pick and Pay and all these other shops, Checkers and whatnot. Let me take Madian's question first.
What is LSM?
LSM is Living Standards Measure. Basically, it looks at, there's different LSMs, right? And it's from LSM 1 to LSM 10. LSM 10, as I've said, are people like Johns and Chetty, okay? And LSM 5 will be your middle class, and then LSM 1 will be your lower class. And it's basically a living standards measure that was done years ago that measures which standard or which class you are in society. So they'll come into your home and they'll look, or you've got a washing machine, you've got a plasma TV, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got 4 bedrooms, you've got a dog, you've got a fence, you've got cameras, okay, you are LSM 10. They come into my home, we've got 2 bedrooms, there's no fence, there's no washing machine, there's no TV, we're LSM 1. And that's how marketers decide on how to target their marketing. So if they're targeting LSM 1, they're not going to be bringing stuff that's going to be too expensive because LSM 1 can't afford. Whereas if they're targeting LSM 10, they're not going to be bringing Albany bread, they're going to be bringing whole wheat bread. Let me start with Kamala.
Why do you say that Woolworths would fall under an imperfect market?
Monopolistic competition.
Yes.
And monopolistic competition is under imperfect markets.
I understand that, sir, but in order to define something as an imperfect market, don't you have to say that it's harder to enter the market, sir? But isn't it the case of if I get land, I can start up my own supermarket, sir?
So you're on the right track. I think the only thing that's confused you is the actual characteristics of what monopoly and monopolistic competition is. So you're explaining everything right, but you've got your characteristics wrong. So monopolistic competition, yes, people can. It is easy to go into the market. It's not as hard as what a monopoly or an oligopoly would be. But all of those 3 things are still under imperfect markets. It doesn't mean that it's imperfect markets, it's hard for everybody. It's imperfect markets, it's hard for monopoly to get in because they have a unique product. It will also be hard for oligopoly because of the high startup costs. Think about Shell garages, BP garages, think about Cell C, okay, oligopolies, small companies. But for monopolistic competition, things like Chicken Licken, KFC, Nando's, Spar, Pick and Pay, all of those are monopolistic competition. Supermarkets and restaurants. It's not hard to open a restaurant. You can get land, as you say, and open up a restaurant. But it's still under imperfect markets.
Yes,
And under imperfect markets, there's 3 things. And those 3 things have 3 different definitions or characteristics. So you are putting all the 3 things under one umbrella and saying that it's hard. That's what I'm saying. You sort of on the right track, it's just the characteristics you got it wrong.
No, but sir, my question was that why isn't it actually under a perfect market?
Because it doesn't fulfill the characteristics of a perfect market. That's what I'm trying to explain, Mr. Kazara. Perfect market characteristics, we'll have a look at them. We'll have a look at all the characteristics one more time. but just not now. Okay, but it doesn't fulfill those characteristics. Things like perfect markets, the product has to be homogeneous or homogeneous. Okay, which means that the product has to be literally the same throughout. So if you take a mealie and you go sell that mealie at Woolworths and you sell the same mealie at Pick n Pay without any packaging, how are you going to know where you bought that mealie from? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Whereas if you sell chicken, but it's KFC chicken and it's chicken licken, I'm pretty sure you'll know what the difference is. Okay. So am I making sense here? Okay. But we'll get to the characteristics. We'll rehash them one more time. Last question.
So like,
Last question, gents. We have to move on. I like answering questions. I promise you I do. But we have to also get the context going. Yes, sir.
so isn't like, so what Wools is doing, so isn't it like that, like a mind game, so, because now, think about it now, so, now, like, an example, so like, let's say, for example, a cheesecake, so, like, a cheesecake, you Pick n Pay, so they'll be like, a cheesecake, you know, for what price, you know, and then in Woolworths, they'll give you like they'll call it like a cheese de la creme, something with a higher price, and then you think, cheese de la creme, but the higher price must think, it's much better quality, but maybe it's not.
Same flour. Stop saying
Yeah,
flour.
but same flour, same everything.
Same
Yeah.
I'm sure we all agree with Shandu to a certain extent. Okay? I mean, I'm sure a cake from OK and a cake from Woolworths, you'll tell the difference very fast. But you are right. Maybe a cake from Pick n Pay, okay, or Checkers, because Checkers is the high LSM. ShopRite is the lower LSM. They're all under one group, but they target different people. And then USave is the lowest LSM. That's the town. But they're all Joyla, yes. But they all fall under one brand. Okay. So you are right, Shandu. I hear you. Matambi, I will give you a chance quickly for your question, then we
So
move
my
on.
questions on the next one.
Okay.
Can you attempt it?
No, we're done with that now. We're done.
The one that says demand equals margin.
Which one? Okay, all right. When we get to that one, you can attempt it. Okay. Mo asked a very,
Yes, that's one.
very good question. Why is it a flat curve demand? So we understood with regards to this, we understand the market, we understand why it's D, but why is it also MR, why is it also price, and so on and whatnot? Mr. Matam, you have to let me explain this before you ask. Okay?
No, sir, I want to answer.
Okay, let me explain it first. Let me explain it first, then I'll give you guys a chance. Okay, yes, thank you. So let's have a look at this. This is the perfect market. Work with me here, gents. Quantity starts from 0 and goes up to 6, Tony. Okay? The price is 5 rand for the product. Pick a product for 5 rand quickly, Burton. Saka, 5 rand Saka, very expensive, but it's fine, we'll take it. Okay? The price for the Saka is 5 rand. The total revenue, by definition, is what? Total revenue. How do you work out total revenue of anything? None. Talk to us. Total revenue. If you want to find out total revenue, you know you're selling something for 1,000 rand. Okay? How do you work out the total revenue?
So the revenue is all your costs, or the cost of making your product, minus from all the money that you made.
Did you accounting?
No.
Oh, okay. You're overcomplicating it, so I'm going to stop you there. Okay? Manyata, I want you to try. We're also going to overcomplicate.
Boy.
Okay, I'll let Matami try.
It's quantity times price.
Simple as that. Okay? How much does the Zom farm make today? What they are going to do is they're going to make 100 Zoms, okay? And then they're going to sell them at 750 each. If they sell all of them, how much do they make?
750.
750. Yeah, 750. If they sell half of them, Shandu, how much have they made? 375 rand. Now, are we all on the same page? It is literally, okay? It is literally your quantity times your price. 0 times 5 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 5 is 30. Are we happy here, gents? It's simple enough, okay? Quantity times price. Shandu, in accounting, you are right. You look at the cost of the product, see how much you're selling it for, minus the difference, times by the quantity, then you get how much you're making. But here we're keeping it very simple, okay? We're literally saying the quantity times the price of the Saka, and that's how much it is. Now your marginal revenue, by definition, is the extra revenue you make by producing an extra unit. Your marginal cost, by definition, is the extra cost that you incur by producing an extra unit. So, marginal revenue. When we are producing 0, it's undefined. When you're producing 0 units, it's obviously undefined because there's no extra revenue when you're producing nothing. When you're producing 1, okay, what is the extra revenue of producing 1? It's 5. It's the change in total revenue, okay, from 0 to 5.
So it's say 5 minus 0, and then you put over 1 minus 2.
100%. Change in total revenue. Manyasi, I think you're asking about the change. The change is always denoted by that sign. Okay. The change in total revenue will be, what did you say, Matambi?
5 minus 0.
5 minus 0, which is equal to
5.
5, and over the change in quantity.
2 minus 1.
Change in quantity. Change in quantity. The quantity moved from
2
0,
to
1
1.
to 0. So the change in quantity is 1.
Minus 0.
5 divided by 1,
5.
5. Johns, help me with this one. Let's try move from here to here. Okay, so we want to work out the change in total revenue, okay, from 4 units to 5 units. How much did total revenue change, Johns, from 20 to 25? Johns, how much did quantity change from 4 to 5? 5 divided by 1 is equal to? Manyati, let's try the last one. From 5 to 6, how much did total revenue change? Change in total revenue, Manyati? How much did it change? By 5? Okay, and what was the change there? 1, so it's 5. So you agree that the price is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. The total revenue is the price times the quantity, which we've got. The marginal revenue, the extra revenue that you get from selling 1 extra unit, and it makes sense if you think about it. If you sell something for 5 rand, if you sell another one, it's also 5 rand. So the change was 5 rand. If you sell another one, it's also 5 rand. If I had to complicate this, I'll change these figures to 12, maybe 30, and then that will complicate this whole thing. But if you're just looking at moving from quantity 1 to quantity 2 to quantity 3, the change is literally 5, 5, 5. Listen.
So in under perfect market conditions, MR is always constant because there's no competitors, there's no monopolies.
Right? And what else, Marlon? Think about it. So you're on the right track. Under perfect competition, the comment is that MR is always constant. There's no monopoly. Monopoly, what would a monopoly do? They could charge whatever price they wanted. So monopoly could change the price. Suckers today are going to be 6 rand. Why are they 6 rand? Because we are the only ones supplying suckers, so we can determine what price we're supplying them at. Do you understand?
Yes.
So since this is a perfect market, who determines the price in the perfect market? Buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers determine the price, and they've said the price is 5 rand, okay? So the average, or the marginal revenue is 5 rand. Let's look at the average revenue. By definition, average revenue is total revenue divided by the quantity. If you look at your total revenue, that's this column here, Zondo. Total revenue for quantity 3 is how much, Mr. Zons? 15 rand, okay? So total revenue is 15 rand. Divided by quantity, what's the quantity for 3? 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5 rand. Written? Total revenue for quantity of 6 is 30 rand. Total revenue divided by the quantity, which is 6. Therefore you get 5 rand. In the perfect markets, yes, Mr. Zulus.
If you go back to that graph,
We're going to go to it, yeah?
T is equal to D, equal to MR, equal to AR.
So here, 100%. So this is what I learned, okay, when I think I was in varsity, okay? P is equal to 5, okay? But it's also equal to MR, and it's also equal to AR. So P is equal to marginal revenue, is equal to average revenue, and it's equal to demand, because remember the demand curve is flat. Why? Because it's the market demand curve, or it's the market supply and demand that determine the individual demand curve. So all of these are equal. So we then were told that instead of doing it that like that, you must just write it as Mr. Pod. And you will not forget it. I have not forgotten it for the past 14 years. I'm sure you guys are not going to forget it. Mr. Pod is MR, P, price, AR, average revenue, and D, which is demand. Mr. Pod. Who's happy?
Yes, sir.
Who's not happy? Questions, gents? Comments? Okay, please don't pack up yet.
So this.
Okay, please don't pack up yet. Yeah, are you guys happy here? Okay. Gents, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Pick it up from here tomorrow.